we're starting to see this like push for new fitness equipment, right? Like, what's the new answer now? Where are we coming to? We've got things hanging on walls with mirrors that talk to us, and we've got, bikes that we sit on that go nowhere that have screens in front of us, and they're reaching for what seems to be the right thing or gives them emotional fulfillment.
So obviously we're alluding to the heated debate that I had on Instagram, right?
Okay, maybe.
So recently, well, first of all, let me start with how it came up, right? So I love this stuff. Like I follow all these businesses, and I'm very intrigued by all of them. And on the podcast, I brought up on the show, I said, hey, Tonal just took on, I think $200-something million, and their valuation is $1.6 billion.
I think it was 250, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. And by the way, today or yesterday, another one of those, it's not Mirror, it's not Tonal, there's a third one that's very similar. This one has more weights involved in it, but similar. Just took on $200-something million, also another crazy valuation. And I got into a huge debate with my buddy. And of course, I obviously offended him because he's financially vested in the company. And, he's a very smart guy, and he happens to know the CEO, and he knows the KPIs, and he knows a lot about...
He's got all the insight to the financials and the back end.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm like, I'm not denying any of that. I'm not denying that they didn't come up with a legitimate valuation somehow. Like, I've done the same thing for my company, so I can tout the numbers that we're valued at. But I also, as a CEO, know our weaknesses and where we could disappear tomorrow, like if we don't watch our back, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd be a fool to think that doesn't exist in all these companies also. So that's one. The second big thing is this. So long as it's treating the symptom and it is not the cure, we are going to be in the same boat.
Some circle.
That's right. And if you think that Tonal, Mirror, Peloton, Orange Theory is the cure to the obesity epidemic, you're dead wrong. And I'll fight that argument all day with somebody, and I'll stand on my experience of being in this business and seeing tons of businesses just like this that were brilliant at the time, great marketing.
They'll come and go.
That's right. That treat the symptom really well. They build a lot of good hype. They hire a lot of good executives behind it. They know how to go out and prey on everybody's insecurities and get them to sign up and buy initially. But because it's not the cure, it will eventually be a coat hanger for somebody. Mm-hmm. And I'll take the Pepsi challenge on that all day long. And the reason why I have so much faith in what we're building and what we're doing is because, like you alluded to earlier, is we're trying to change the conversation to what the cure is. And the cure is responsibility, personal responsibility and accountability, and taking care of yourself because you love yourself, learning to meet yourself where you're currently at in your fitness goal, and slowly building upon that to make a lifestyle change. It is not some digital bullshit that's going to be a quick fix answer because it's convenient in your home. And if you think that is the answer, you're dead wrong. And so, yeah, I got into a heated debate with my buddy with that, and he did not want to let up at all. He kept coming at me back and forth, and
right.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, again, back and forth, and that's healthy, right?
Yeah,
because it definitely spawns some conversation, and again, hopefully, it gets people to kind of think about it. A $1.6 billion valuation on a piece of equipment. And again, it's not a piece of equipment, it's a company that sells a piece of equipment. I think the question, can be interpreted a couple different ways. Yes, if you're looking at it literally and figuratively, or literally, you don't have maybe an insight to the financials, so you don't know what it's really worth. However, if you're asking the consumer, of fitness, and you're asking the person that's trying to make a decision or is finally at a point in their life where they feel compelled, like, okay, I really need to do something about my health. This COVID shit really scared me. And I know I want a more resilient, stronger, body. What's the right answer for me? If you're asking them if they think it's worth a $1.6 billion valuation, I think that's a different question altogether.
Well, I think even the way, and part of how, I don't know if you actually went through the argument.
No, I went through the whole thing. It was entertaining, to say the least.
I kept putting overrated in quotation marks to try and get him to understand that I'm not saying that the company's overvalued, that all the analytics didn't add up to come up with the right valuation. Okay, that's above my pay grade. I'm not in there. I can't say it. What I am saying is the piece of equipment overrated? That's what all I was asking, and I do believe I'm qualified enough to ask that to my audience because of my experience. And for him to think that I can, I think you're ridiculous. I don't. They're evaluating these companies, okay, in all of them as a tech company, not as a fitness company first.
It's a whole other silo.
And that's where he made a mistake in this argument was he kept referring back to how Instagram was losing money, and they still got a multi-billion-dollar valuation and sold at X and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, if that's a terrible, because you only proved my argument more.
Not a good platform.
Nobody is addicted to any piece of fitness equipment the way people are addicted to Instagram. I mean, the average Instagram user right now is spending like 4 hours a day on Instagram.
Fucking apples and oranges.
It's completely apples and oranges. They're using it like everybody uses it. First of all, fat, skinny, tall, doesn't matter. They spend hours and hours consuming mindless content on it all day long, where very few people even last longer than 4 to 6 weeks doing anything fitness related, because it takes discipline. It's hard. It's not fun. The results come on slow. Complete opposite. So I already think that this new age of evaluating tech fitness companies like a tech company is already a mistake in the first place.
Time will tell. Yeah, time will definitely show. I mean, we've seen it all come full circle a million times, and what it comes down to is an individual who has individual things that need attention, and they need to be doing it in a way that works for them at a place and a time that works best.
And I don't like to, because I know I piss in his Cheerios when I talk about Orange Theory too. Is like, listen, I'm not hating on a company that is trying, and I don't know their real desired outcome, but it is supposedly trying to really help people or not. But if them treating the symptom will lead more people searching for the cure,
hey, more power to them.
I'm all for it.
Right.
I'm all for it. But you're a fool if you think that's the cure, because that way of training is not the answer.
Yeah, let's be careful about what we're promising people.
That's right.
Yeah, totally get it.